Welcome to our gentle restorative practice today. We're going to focus on the theme of yes and no as we enter into the new year. And I'll start with inviting 3 sounds of the bell. Let your body settle in to this present moment. And we're going to begin in Siddhasana. So any comfortable seated posture. Siddhasana, our feet are tucked in close to our body and our knees open wide. And if you wish, feel free to support your knees and your hips with a blanket or a block on either side. And the only difference between this and Sukhasana is in Sukhasana, sometimes we cross one of the feet over the shin. So you can feel what is best for your body in this moment. And bring your awareness to the very tip of your nose, where your breath is entering your body. And just let yourself be here in this moment. And as we practice together, we will fully honor wherever our body is. We won't push ourselves past what our body needs. With our practice of yes and no, we will enjoy possibility and also notice resistance. And let's create our own sacred sound of Om together. We'll do this 3 times. We'll awaken the bell within ourselves. With our inhale, fill your lungs through your nose. And with the exhale, Om. Feeling that vibration through your body. And again, inhaling. Om. Letting the healing current of energy flow down your back and all the way through where your body meets the earth. And one last time, inhaling and exhaling. Om. And as you sit quietly in a position that feels good to your body, I'll start with a short reading from a book called Perfectly Imperfect by Baron Baptista. This is from the chapter of the dance of yes and no. Pythagoras once wrote, "The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought." There are only two ways we show up on our mat and in life, as a yes or as a no. Yes carries the energy of possibility. No carries the energy of resistance. Yes expresses your willingness to claim your power and to use it to discover the real meaning of commitment. Yes invites you to expand and to come into your full creative expression. It opens you up and affirms your willingness to be teachable when you don't have the know-how to get where you want to go. Yes affirms the existence of a destination in the practice beyond mere physical gain. No shows up with a very different energy. It is closed, rigid, and often stubborn. It takes the form of excuses, complaints, procrastination, resistance, frustration, and so on. No impedes or flat out stops you in your tracks. You are always in a dance of yes and no. Being a yes for anything automatically makes you a no for something else. So today, I invite you to engage in your own inquiry of what am I a yes for in my practice? And what do I refuse and say no to? Or to put it in another way, how am I showing up on my mat and in my life? And in this moment, I'll share with you an affirmation. Today's affirmation is, I choose what serves me most. With your spine high and elongated and your crown lifting towards the sky, can we choose what serves us most? Can we ground through our sits bone into the earth and choose our own yes? And take a moment to set your intention. Fill in this sentence if you wish. I choose to. And if you're struggling to choose something, then just tap into what feels most light in your heart center, and maybe it will come to you in a little bit. We'll start with a massage of our face. So let's take our fingertips to the inner corner of our brow and gently separate and press the brow line across the forehead. You might want to lift it slightly and smooth your eyebrows, starting at the very center, the yin tang point, the third eye, and smooth with your fingertips across. And now let your fingertips find your temples, and you can do slow circular moments, pressing with just the amount of pressure that feels good to you. And switching directions and creating a circular motion on the temple in the other direction. Breathe into your arms and shoulders if they're getting a little tired. And now run your fingertips up There's veins along your head through your scalp. And run your fingertip up the veins that nourish your head. And if you ever feel a little bit of a headache coming on, something that is good to use or that might be work for you is peppermint oil. You can take a little bit of that and place that right in this temple spot and then massage that upwards. And now take your fingertips and just gently circle your eyes. So coming up along the inner part of the nose and then back around the eyebrows. And if you've put peppermint oil on your fingertips, you don't want to do this because the oil will get into your eyes. So just be cautious of that. I'm taking a bit of a risk right now. And then try circling in the other direction, which might feel a bit backwards. Along the cheekbone and getting to the temple, back along the eyebrows, down the bridge of the nose, maybe pausing on the sides of the bridge of the nose. And noticing, is there any pressure there that your fingertips can help release? And then along the cheekbones. And when you're ready, let your fingertips find your jaws. And maybe, just gently come up the jawline and down the jawline. Or maybe it feels good to do that circular motion on the jaw muscles. Places that we hold tension. And now let that go. Bring your hands down to meet your knees. And we're going to introduce some very gentle head nodding, yes and no. Imagining the expansion towards more items in our life that we wish to embrace, and the no being the letting go of the things that are no longer serving us. So we want to be very gentle and slow in movements of our neck in our head, so that we don't end up feeling dizzy. If you feel dizzy at all, either stop this or just slow it way, way down. So let's start with lengthening again through our crown, taking a deep inhale, and then lowering your chin very slowly to your chest. And when you wish for it to complete the yes, bring one palm to your forehead and let the palm of your hand bring your head back up. And now let it come down on its own. And let the other palm raise your head up. Not going back too far, but just enough. And maybe you close your eyes as you introduce your yes. It's always your choice. Where do you place your energy? What do you agree to? Where do you give? And now let your head come back to center, and we'll slowly introduce the no, which makes space for more yes. So turning your head over to the right shoulder, inhaling and exhaling back to center. and taking away any negativity as we go to the left. With our inhale, our no is not a negative. It is a making of space and a letting go. And maybe it's saying no to any compulsions that we have in our life. Clinging, attachment to possessions that we don't need. Attachment to toxic relationships. Attachment to martyrdom, overdoing. Attachment to fear. Potentially saying no to habit energies like anger and fear or anxieties. And come back to the center and just pause for a moment and see how you feel. Is there a lightness, a freshness as you make space for new possibilities? And let's clench and unclench our face. So I can't see you, but you can see me. So clench up and be really silly with it. And then let that all go. Ha. And clench your face muscles and release them. And once more, clenching and releasing. And draw your shoulders up in tightness and then release. And twice more, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And doing the same with our fists, making tight balls of fists. You can even introduce the face again if you'd like, and then opening your fingertips and releasing. Anything in your body that you wish to tighten and hold, and then letting it go, all the no's, making space for yeses. And once more, let that all go. And we're going to come to our knees in cat-cow. And you might want to place a blanket under your knees so that you have a soft, restorative place to rest your legs. And from our cat-cow, we're going to open our finger pads nice and wide and feel a lengthening through the crown of our head and then all the way through our tail. Lower your belly and inhale, and then exhale and stretch your spine. And inhaling, belly drops, chin lifts just slightly, and exhaling, pressing your spine upwards. And again, drop your belly, filling and round your spine, exhaling. If you're wearing your socks to keep your feet warm, now might be a good time to take them off. We're going to do a little balancing and stability with our bodies. So balancing doesn't always have to be standing. Let's start with bringing our right leg back and rolling forward and back. So actually creating that same yes energy with our calf muscle. Feeling through the Achilles, being gentle here, no need to overdo. And now we're going to raise our left hand and introduce bird dog. So if you wish to test your balance, raise your right leg. And if you feel very wobbly, see if you can find a spot, a drishti, a focus point on the floor in front of you. And breathe into your beautiful bird dog. Balance, stability, strength. And see if you can reach a tiny bit more from fingertip through toe. And bring your bird dog down. And now just roll your spine out however it feels good to you. So this can be called wagging your tail. Maybe barrel rolls. And place the left leg back. If your wrists are starting to feel a little sensitive, you can come up like a gorilla and place the tops of your hands downwards. Let's introduce the yes on the left side of our body. Coming forwards and backwards, rolling out the left foot. Awakening our left calf and left Achilles. And now raising our right arm to balance on our left side. And raising left leg as well, pointing your toes, reaching through your fingertips, feeling that line of strength and energy all the way from right middle finger to your big toe. Strengthen, lengthen, press into your left hand. Very nice. And then release that. And we'll swing back around to seated. And switch the cross of your legs from earlier. So if your left foot was in the front, bring your left foot now closer to the center of your body. Remember, you can use blocks or pillows to always support the legs when we're in these seated postures, because maybe it just gets a little bit too intense. So you can place a block or a pillow or a blanket underneath the hips. And we're going to introduce a forward fold in Siddhasana with a bind. So a couple options here. You don't need to do the arm bind if you don't wish to. You can take a strap, a dish rag, a bathrobe, tie, anything, a necktie, and you can bring that behind your back. Or if your arms are flexible, you can also grasp just with your own two hands. And on different days, your arms will have different possibilities. So with whatever we choose, our own hands or an object, we're going to start by bringing our fists behind us and opening through our shoulders. This alone is a wonderful restorative pose. Anything that creates an opening across the chest and through the shoulders. Pointing your chin nice and strong. Relax the muscles around your jaws and your eyes. And we're going to start to lean forward, hinging forward, not rounding, and seeing if we can raise our arms. There's a lot going on here, a lot of trust, a lot of curiosity and wondering, where's my head going? Leaning forward into our yes. Maybe your breath has become shallow. See if you can take a deep inhale. And then let your arms come down in the bind. And we'll come back up to seated. Today's mudra is a mudra of courage. And it will probably be the easiest mudra that I ever teach you. So I'll show you the picture of this one. It's called Abhaya Mudra. And it's as simple as your right hand being open and up facing. Abhaya Mudra means fearless. So we're going to take our right hand and raise it and relax through your shoulder and your elbow. So soften and soften your finger pads. And then the left hand can just be on your knee. Abhaya Mudra is good for eradicating fear. Imagine a fear that you have. Visualize it approaching the palm of your right hand. And it reaches, your fear reaches the palm of your hand and it sees the stop. And whatever this fear is, subdues. Your courage is unwavering, and fear dissipates as it approaches. Breathe into your own courage source, the place of fearless yeses. And visualize the fears you have gently just fading away. And let's take our strap again. We're going to unwind from our legs. And just place your strap near you. So seated in Dandasana or staff pose, again, very nice to have a blanket tucked under your sits bones or a pillow to just let your hips come slightly forward, especially if you have tight hamstrings like me. Our feet are flexed. Our crown is pointing up and lifting towards the sky. In fact, place your left hand on top of your head and then see if you can rise up slightly, lifting. Dandasana or staff pose. Let's open and close our toes, making tight little fists with our feet and then opening. Opening with our yes and closing to fear and resistance. And let's do 3 forward folds. So sweeping up and coming forward towards your toes. Feeling the opening in our hamstrings. Breathing into the sensation in our bodies. 2 more times, sweeping up and folding. And here's a moment that you can listen to the sensations of your own body and say, do you wish to stay here, or do you wish to again sweep up and draw in? And can you notice the sensations running down the backs of your legs? And bring your prana, your energy to the tightness that might be there. And let your exhale release everything that no longer serves you. Taking our strap, we'll bring the strap around our right inner sole of our foot. And again, you don't have to have any props, but if you don't have props, maybe you're just using your hand. And maybe then your knee is a little bit more bent. So this will depend on your own flexibility. But if you do have a strap or a tie, this will allow you to roll forward a little bit on your pelvis and lift your right leg, avoiding the knee being locked, and lengthen, awakening the muscles of our body. And breathing here. And then opening to the right and noticing the lean that starts to happen as we resist. And rolling forward a little bit. And now bringing your right leg back to meet your left and placing the strap around the left sole of your foot on the opposite side. It might feel good to switch arms too. So I like to use my left arm for my left leg. And rising up, breathing, rolling forward slightly on your pelvis, feeling the yumminess of the muscles awakening. And opening to the left side as well. Maybe stabilizing with your right hand under your right leg. Breathing. Feeling a nice stretch along the left arm muscles as well. And returning to center, placing the strap to the side, and a seated twist. So let's bring both knees up and tuck the right foot under. And bring the left leg over the right knee. And now wrapping your left arm around your left knee, rising up with your right arm Inhaling and twisting over to the right. Scan your body for any sensation. And now wrap your right arm around that leg and lift your left arm. Breathing in, and you'll feel this totally differently. And exhale, twisting now over to the left. We're almost making the shape of cow-faced pose with our hips. This is a lighter, softer version of cow-faced pose. Breathing into the muscles of the left hip, maybe even taking your left hand and massaging in a circular motion. And switching the direction of that circular massage. And coming back to the center. Feet come to the ground. Rise up through the top of your crown of your head. And now tuck your left foot under and bring your right foot over the left knee. We could call this awkward position. And wrap your right arm around your knee. Rise your left arm up. And twist to the left. We were just over on this side. Breathe down the channels on your right side of your body in the back. Breathe into your left rib cage. And your left shoulder blades. Come back to center and wrap your left arm around your right knee and rise your right arm up. Right arm comes behind you. And now we enjoy the stretching of the right hip, the outer muscles of the glute. And you might want to take your right hand and massage in a circle all the way around the right hip in both directions. Wringing out our fears, our anxieties, any habit energies we don't wish to have. And then releasing back to the center. Move the blanket that you might have had over to the side and anything else that might be in your way. We're going to do a little bit of strength, and I'll give some variations here. So we're going to, if you wish, come to plank, which would be with your knees raised. But if this is too much, keep your knees down. You don't need to be all the way up. And you can come up for just a moment if you wish. And we're going to plank rock forward and backward, introducing our yes. And if you're on your knees, you can just do this way. So you're plank rocking forwards and backwards with more of your upper body. We won't stay here for long. Press up into downward dog, changing your perspective on the world. And nodding very gently, yes, with your head, and no. We won't stay here for long. Crisscross your feet until you come to Uttanasana, or standing forward fold. We're going to do a little ragdoll. So ragdoll, I'll give you two options. You can just let your hands swing like a marionette puppet, or you can grasp your outer elbows. Knees can be generously bent and your chest can be resting on your thigh muscles. Or a third option is, if you liked the feeling of bind from earlier, you can draw your hands together and be in a bind. Nod your head yes to what you wish to bring into your life more of, and nod your head no to the things that no longer serve you. Release your bind or your arms. Bring your hands and let them ground to the earth. Let everything you don't need flow out of you. And let's bring our hands to our ankles and let them come up our shins to our knees. Scoop and round your spine to come up very slowly to Tadasana, standing forward, standing powerful pose. Our feet are under our hips. Open your hands wide. And just notice how you feel for a moment. And we're going to do a little breath of joy. If you have any trouble with vertigo or blood pressure, dizziness, things like that, you might want to do this sitting, because we will be coming up and down with our heads like this. So if that doesn't feel good to you, you can slow it down, or you can just stay in Tadasana. With our inhale, rise up, slight back bend, and come all the way down. Let your hands sweep up. Breath of joy, letting in what we wish and exhaling. And introducing your breath of joy. And rolling our shoulders back and down, we'll do a little bit of sun salutation with a posture called stargazer. So come to the front of your mat and sweep your arms up. Slight back bend, and now slowly fan your arms out. Coming down to the ground, you're in forward fold. Halfway lift, flatten your back, and fold down. Right foot is going to come back. So you're in a runner's lunge. And now let your right foot touch the ground so that you're getting ready for warrior one. And now rise up. So I'm going to take a moment to get us oriented before we introduce Stargazer. Our left knee is bent and our left leg is pointing forwards. Our right leg is straight and we're pressing into the outer edge of our right foot. Our knee is aligned over our ankle for the left leg, and our arms are reaching up. And now bring your arms down to cactus. Look up and inhale, and as you lean forward, bring your arms to your chest in a hug. Open, stargazing, inhaling, and folding forward, giving yourself a little hug. Inhaling and exhaling and folding. Left leg is really working. Bring your hands to frame your left leg and turn back into runner's lunge. Hands meet the earth. We're in plank. Knees to the ground, feet flatten. Lower yourself to the ground and rise up to upward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, press up to downward facing dog. And now bring your right foot forward so we can repeat stargazer on the other side. Breathe here in runner's lunge. Right knee is bent. Left leg is pointing strong. And now let your left foot meet the earth to prepare for warrior one and rise up. And if you get lost at any moment, don't worry about it. Just think about, what does my body need and want? Warrior one, where our arms are upwards, receiving. Our right knee is bent and our left leg is strong. Press into the outer blade of your left foot. Inhale and bring your arms down to stargazer pose. Cactusing the arms. Inhale and exhale, fold and embrace. And inhale, cactus your arms. I'll turn this way so you can see. This is cactus arms, and then I'm folding down over my leg, my right leg. Inhale and fold. Rise up, inhale and fold. Very, very nice. Plant your hands by your right foot. You're back in runner's lunge. See if you can pull your right leg back to plank. Knees come down, feet flatten. Lower yourself to the ground. Keep those elbows tucked and rising up. Deep inhale, receiving. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Exhale here. Step your right leg forward. Step your left leg forward. We're in forward fold and sweeping up. Hands come to heart center. Step out so that we have a forward wide-legged straddle. Point your toes slightly inwards. And find your bearings here. If you wish, reach for your strap. I'm doing some binds today. These forward fold binds are really great for releasing things from our body that we don't need. So if you wish, you can just have your hands, or you can use a strap. Bring your hands behind you and hinge forward. Letting your hands come up to the sky. breathing here. Notice where there's sensation in your body and bring your breath to those places. And bring your hands together, releasing the strap or bind. And let your hands come down to the earth, toe healing inwards to our malasana stretch, a grounding posture. And if this is a lot for your body, you can bring your hands forward and be up on your toes. Or anywhere that feels good. And let's bring our hands behind us and sit down, and we'll do one last forward fold posture with a bind. So if you wish, on your knees, come onto your toes and you'll feel a real nice, well, I say nice, I'll say intense toe stretch here. And just breathe for a moment, and then let your feet relax down to the ground. And find your strap or your hands and grasp behind your back. Inhale, open your chest to your yes, and folding forward. One more breath, and letting that go. Bring your legs around, and we'll come down to our backs in Apanasana. Knees to our chest, loving what our body can do for us. Flatten the back of your head and press your sacrum, or the lowest part of your spine. Press that down to the earth. Relax the muscles of your face and your jaws. Relax the grip of your fingers. If this is too tight, maybe Apanasana is just hands resting on your shins. In fact, let's all do that. Yes to loving this body that we have exactly as it is in this moment. And no to any body critiquing, comparison, wishing for something different than the body that we have in this moment. And just run your hands lovingly up and down your shins, finding your knees and going in a circular motion lovingly around your knees. And going in the other direction. Very nice. And now start to let your legs, your feet come down to the earth. And make a soft, warm little nest for yourself when we come into Shavasana. So maybe that means putting your socks on and getting some warm blankets. You can place a blanket beneath you as well as above you. Make yourself a beautiful, warm, soft nest for the most important part of yoga, which is Shavasana. This is when all of the healing energies are going to wash over our bodies. Maybe you wish to put a pillow under your knees. Find your place of comfort. And tuck yourself in. There's no rush. Feel your body as it melts into the earth, and the earth receives everything that you wish to let go of. And feel your heart center open to receiving all the yeses. You can have your hands gently by your side, or if it feels better to you, maybe place your hands over your heart. And scan your body and ask it to soften. And I'll read to you a little more from Perfectly Imperfect on the dance of yes and no. Yes and no take the form of emotional energy, and emotions contain vibrations. That sounds esoteric, I know, but in your body and your being, you can feel it as something tangible. Think about when you're around someone who's angry, you can feel that vibration of rage, can't you? Similarly, someone who is happy gives off a different kind of vibration, radiating a lightness and joy. These different vibrations of yes and no have an impact on your body and on your energetic capacity to support or block what you're up to in the pose and in your life. Emotional vibrations fuel our actions. In other words, being a yes or no will dictate what you do and don't do. Consider that when you're inspired by the possibility of something, your body vibrates at the perfect frequency to support you in achieving the thing that inspires you. The energetic vibration of yes carries the emotional energy of enthusiasm, which translates into action. You are naturally moved and inspired to create and achieve. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And roll to one side very gently, feeling the beauty of your practice wash over your whole physical body. And when you're ready, you can start to rise back up to a seated posture. And we'll close out our practice with two sounds of the beautiful bell, inviting in the yes, more of the yes, and making space for the yes with our nose. And as you return to your daily life, I wish to thank you for practicing together today. And may the intention that you set earlier carry through. Namaste. Thank you so much.